Hi, welcome to the Autism News Network. My name is Kyle Kilvington, and I am interviewing Lane Ballard, Director of South Carolina's Boeing factory. How are you doing today?
Wonderful, thanks for having me.
What is your role as director, and what do you do as site leader?
The primary role is to deliver these great aircraft that are behind us to customers around the world. But in order to do that, this company is built on the people that work here. So my main job is to keep them happy. When you talk about the engineers, the ops, the maintenance, the housekeepers, my job is to make sure everybody has what they need to do their job so that we can deliver these wonderful aircraft out of South Carolina.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What is your educational background?
I went to Virginia Tech in Virginia, and then I went to MIT and have a business degree and a master's in engineering.
Do you have a history with the aeronautics industry?
I have 23 years with Boeing, and in college I did a lot of work in aeronautics. So yeah, I have a passion for flying and space.
That's awesome to know. What is the most fun part of your job?
Most fun part of the job, getting to meet great people like yourself, Kyle, as well as walking the floor and getting on these great products. 2.5 million parts that come together that deliver to an aircraft customer that's going to fly billions of miles over its lifetime. It's pretty fascinating. So I love being on the floor, seeing the product, and being able to see these great aircraft come together.
How did you first get involved with Boeing?
An intern. I had a fascination with flying. Boeing was, the premier aerospace company, and I got an internship. I was lucky enough to come out on an internship in Seattle, Washington. And then from there, like I said, 23 years later, I've had the chance to live on 3 continents and work on defense and commercial and space aircraft, and I'm just lucky to be here in South Carolina leading the site.
That is really cool. I love what I've seen so far on our tour.
Well, thank you.
But have you ever worked with people who have autism before now?
Haven't had the benefit yet directly. Indirectly, though, I have a lot of colleagues and neighbors who have children who have autism or adults that have autism. And so I've been able to, of course, learn more about that. Actually, one of the roles that I have here on the site and what brought me to your great organization is called the Boeing Employees Ability Awareness Association. And that's an association here on the site that's focused on the business reason of how do we attract talent like yourself, and once you're here, maintain that talent so that you want to stay. Because at Boeing, we need to have a very diverse environment where the best of everyone shows up to work. Another example is the mask I'm wearing. You'll notice it's clear. The reason it's clear is because there's a lot of people that can't hear as well as us, and they need to read lips. And unfortunately with COVID, those masks cover up your lips. So we occasionally use these masks to kind of allow lip readers in order to understand what's being said.
That was an awesome idea and an awesome invention. What role has your family played in your success?
Everything. I mean, not only my mom and dad, but of course I have 2 young girls and a wife born and raised here in South Carolina. And, family is everything. It's what we work for. It's where, our hopes and futures lie in our kids. So it's just an important part of my life.
What is Boeing doing to increase awareness with individuals with special needs?
We do a lot of work in the community because, again, our communities, you take autism, for example, a lot of the teammates here have kids or relatives with autism, getting them to understand how they can be successful in life, and more importantly, all the advantages that people with autism bring to the table. We have lots of vets of the war that want to work here at Boeing. They, young generation. We just have women in engineering.
It's very diverse.
It's very diverse, and we need to make sure that, again, we have a place that people want to come and work at, where they can feel they can bring the best of themselves to work every day.
That's awesome. What do you see for the future of flight in this industry?
Behind you here, the 787 is the most fuel-efficient plane there is, wide-body-wise. It's 22% more efficient than most of the planes it replaces, and it's even 11% more over our competitor Airbus. But it really is around how do we improve the environment. And this plane being so fuel efficient, it saves on fuel tremendously, which means you can go further with less gas. It actually has designs in it. In fact, the engines, you'll note, look like they're scalloped or like a bird's wing. And the reason they're scalloped like that is to reduce the noise signature. So again, it's applying technology towards aviation and getting towards efficient aircraft that are less noisy, that burn less fuel, and get you there faster. In addition, here in the Low Country, we have the 787 program, but we actually, just up the road, have research in the areas of space and defense. So we work on the next generation rocket technology as well.
That is awesome. Why is communication important with all of the parts that are needed for a plane? Specifically this one, we learned is 2.3 million parts.
That's right. Yeah, 2.3 million parts coming from over 160 countries, tens of thousands of suppliers. So how do you make sure everything gets to one place so that we can deliver to a customer on a single day? And you mentioned communication. You can't do it via Zoom or WebEx only. There's got to be some FaceTime attribute to it. There's got to be some face-to-face. Diversity. Again, you've got to make sure everybody can speak up and mention if there's a problem so that you can fix it quickly. So we've got to have a society and a company where everybody feels they can speak up and be included in the conversation.
As a leader of a big company, what advice would you give us, the Autism News Network?
I think storytelling is powerful and the human element is powerful, and that's why I really like what you guys have already posted on the Autism News Network. I'm excited to see what you do with some of this content as well. Getting back to powers and diversity, and I think the Autism News Network is driving that diversity. It's understanding, it's making sure people that aren't as familiar with autism understand what it is about and what great advantages there are to the people that have it. And so I would just say keep going with what you're doing and continue to open the eyes of the Low Country and beyond, for sure. Yeah.
This is Lane Ballard, Boeing, South Carolina's site leader. My name is Kyle Kilvington, and thank you for joining the Autism News Network.